Britney Spears comeback. Could Britney Spears have a comeback? We got to talk about this. But before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian and I spill pop culture tea videos every single day. So if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. You guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new, the whole vibe is like we're on a FaceTime call and I am so grateful and thankful to be here with you all. Best friend. Britney Spears, Britney Spears, Britney Spears, Britney Jean Spears. There are so many things being talked about Britney right now that I wanted to do a little different video. And I wanted to show you guys a video that I saw about Britney Spears being the blueprint. So I'm just gonna put it here while I talk. I don't know about you guys, but for me, whenever I see past Britney, I get very emotional, right? I get very sad. I'm not gonna lie. I get very sad when I see people like, Beyonce or the Backstreet Boys or, Christina, just anybody from that era still performing to this day and still selling out stadiums and arenas and all these things that they are doing. I absolutely think about Britney, and I know I'm not the only one. I think that we all do. I think that it is something that is very, very true, I think that a lot of us wish that Britney was still on that stage, showing the world what she's made of. She's still incredibly young, and I do think that Britney still has so much potential and so much to give the world. Now, of course, I understand why she might not want to because of everything she went through during her conservatorship. I understand that being forced to perform can take the love away from it. I absolutely understand as well that, people have used her, have manipulated her, have hurt her to the point where she now doesn't trust anybody. All of those things I understand. There's a lot of talk about she's AI, that she's a clone, that she's dead, that she's still in a conservatorship, that she's on substances, so many things being talked about. And of course, her behavior on Instagram, is questioned by many. Well, I see it for the most part of her being silly and just trying to find herself. I'm always giving her the benefit of the doubt because I'm also very fucking weird. And I also do a lot of weird shit when I'm alone. And, I think that if there was a camera on me or I was posting the things that I do alone, I think a lot of people would be concerned too. I pretend to have a cooking show. I randomly do musicals. I treat my showers like I'm live from Madison Square Garden with like talking to the audience breaks and everything. I, fix my room and pretend that I'm on a reality show. Like, there's a lot of things that I do that may seem not normal to some, but I think that we all have our weird things. She's just choosing to show every side of her. Now, having said that, I definitely just feel like there's this thing where I look at Lindsay Lohan, I look at Charlie Sheen, I look at Robert Downey Jr., I look at these people who once were also told that they never will work again, that they're canceled beyond belief, that they're never going to be able to, have a career, and look at them. Britney has not done anything illegal like some of these people or have gotten into legal trouble like some of these people. She's never really been in many trouble. I believe that what she's gone through was done to her. And so I think that if all these people are having major successful comebacks, why shouldn't Britney?
Seriously, since I've been a baby, this is something that I've always had in me, and I just kind of knew in the back of my mind that it was going to happen. I mean, I didn't say, oh, this is going to happen, but I mean, I dreamed and I hoped for it like forever since I was a baby, so it's just like a dream come true. I hope I never wake up. So. I remember like 2 years ago, I was at home watching the Grammys with my mom and my dad. This was before I got my record deal, and I said, just jokingly, I was like, one day I'm going to be up there, and we were all laughing, and so then I called my mom after I got nominated, and she was like, oh, she was so happy. Now, the Grammys is just, like, such an accomplishment just to be nominated, and such an honor, seriously.
And so I think that it is possible for Britney to have a big comeback. I do, and I will never lose hope. But I will say something that I've said once before, a couple years ago, but it is very difficult for me to watch old Britney. It is very difficult for me. And it's nothing to do about Britney. It's to do what happened to Britney. It has everything to do with what her family did to her.
Just growing up and having a major support system around me has made me, like, it's amazing. It's very cool.
How does your mom, I just love seeing you with your mom so much and holding hands and magazines and stuff like that. How does your mom, when she knows that you're going through some things and you know, the things that you've talked about that have been tough, which I think you've handled very well, but how does she play as far as the support?
She's amazing. She is awesome.
Thanks, Mom, huh? Yeah. Okay, this is the toughest question I'm going to ask you, but everybody does want to know the answer to it. Ben or Brad? Because you know what? You told me, Ben.
I did?
Like, you got emotional about your mom.
I did. Ew. That's stupid.
No, it's not. My mom is here, and I would be doing the same thing. Because my mom gets me through everything, too, so you can just make me cry with you. She's a good one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Special. She got a good daughter.
Yep.
She's got a good daughter.
Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. I have no one to talk about this in my real life. No one really seems to care like we do. And so that's why I wanted to do this video and have like this sit down convo, because I want to know if there's other people out there who it saddens them to see others who grew up with Britney still be so successful, like the Backstreet Boys in the Sphere in Vegas, Beyonce being Beyonce. Like, if Britney was still around and she'd never had that abuse done to her, I think that Britney would be #1. I think Britney would never have not been #1. I think the music, the artistry that she could have delivered would have been legendary.
Okay, well, I just got a new phone, so bear with me. Okay, so I have this written down. I have a lot to say, so bear with me. Basically, a lot has happened since 2 years ago, the last time I wrote all this down. The last time I was in court. I will be honest with you, I haven't been back to court in a long time because I don't think I was heard on any level when I came to court the last time. I brought 4 sheets of paper in my hands and wrote in length what I had been through the last 4 months before I came there. The people who did that to me should not be able to walk away so easily. I'll recap. I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney.
Ms. Spears, I hate to interrupt you, but my court reporter is taking down what you're saying.
Okay.
And so you have to speak a little more slowly.
Of course, yes. Okay, I apologize. Great.
Everything you're saying.
Okay.
Sure. Now,
The people who did this to me should not get away and to be able to walk away so easily. Recap. I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney, and by contract, my own management could sue me if I didn't follow through with the tour. He handed me a sheet of paper as I got off the stage in Vegas and said I had to sign it. It was very threatening and scary, and with the conservatorship, I couldn't even get my own attorney, so out of fear, I went ahead and I did the tour. When I came off that tour, a new show in Las Vegas was supposed to take place. I started rehearsing early, but it was hard because I'd been doing Vegas for 4 years and I needed a break in between. But no, I was told this is the timeline and this is how it's going to go. I rehearsed 4 to 4 days a week, half of the time in the studio and half of the other time in a Westlake studio. I was basically directing most of the show with my whereabouts, where I preferred to rehearse, and actually did most of the choreography, meaning I taught my dancers my new choreography myself. I take everything I do very seriously. There's tons of video with me at rehearsals. I wasn't good. I was great. I led a room of 16 new dancers in rehearsals. It's funny to hear my manager's side of the story. They all said I wasn't participating in rehearsals, and I never agreed to take my medication, which my medication is only taken in the mornings, never at rehearsal. They don't even see me. So why are they even claiming that? When I said no to one dance move into rehearsals, it was as if I planted a huge bomb somewhere. And I said, no, I don't want to do it this way. After that, my management and my dancers and my assistant of the new people that were supposed to do the new show all went into a room, shut the door, and didn't come out for at least 45 minutes. Ma'am, I'm not here to be anyone's slave. I can say no to a dance move. I was told by my, at the time, therapist, Dr. Benson, who died, that my manager called him in that moment and told him I wasn't cooperating or following the guidelines in rehearsals. And he also said I wasn't taking my medication, which is so dumb because I've had the same lady every morning for the past 8 years give me my same medication, and I'm nowhere near these stupid people. It made no sense at all. There was a week period where they were nice to me and they said, I don't want to do, and I told them I don't want to do the, they were nice to me. They said, if I don't want to do the New Vegas show, I don't have to, because I was getting really nervous. I said, I can wait. It was like, they told me I could wait. It was like lifting literally 200 pounds off of me when they said I don't have to do the show anymore, because I was really, really hard on myself and it was too much. I couldn't take it anymore. So I remember telling my assistant, but you know what? I feel weird if I say no. I feel like they're going to come back and be mean to me or punish me or something. 3 days later, after I said no to Vegas, my therapist sat me down in a room and said he had 1 million phone calls about how I was not cooperating in rehearsals and I haven't been taking my medication. All of this was a false. He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I'd been on for 5 years. And lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to. You can go mentally impaired if you take too much, if you stay on it longer than 5 months. But he put me on that and I felt drunk. I really couldn't even take up for myself. I couldn't even have a conversation with my mom or dad really about anything. I told them I was scared and my doctor had me on 6 different nurses with this new medication come to my home, stay with me, to monitor me on this new medication, which I never wanted to be on to begin with. There were 6 different nurses in my homes and they wouldn't let me get in my car to go anywhere for a month. Not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad. And my dad he acted like he didn't know that I was told I had to be tested over the Christmas holidays before they sent me away when my kids went home to Louisiana. He was the one who approved all of it.
And it makes me so sad. So while people are making fun of her and being so mean to her, I'm just over here like, Britney, you got this, girl. You know what I mean? Like, Britney, you got this. Like, don't give up. Don't forget who you are. I don't get tired of saying how much I love Britney or how I support Britney and just how much I want her to be okay. I will never tire of that. And I understand that a lot of you guys say to me, like, Sebastian, you're so naive. She needs help. She's this, she's that. But you're telling me that I don't know Britney. I read comments all the time, like, Sebastian, you don't know Britney. Like, she really does need help. And then I'm like, but you don't know Britney either. Why do you are so sure about that she needs help? You know, and I know it pisses people off and that I'm wishing for the best, but I am. Because she's not a bad person. What was done to her was horrible. What was done to her was an act of abuse. What was done to her was something that ruined her life. And so, yeah, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I want her to be successful. Yeah, I want her to overcome all of the things. So yeah, hello, I love Britney. So when I get asked, do I think she can have a comeback? Yeah, I do. And I think it could be major. And I think she'll have all the support from the whole world. But she's gonna need to want it and work hard for it. And right now, I just think all she wants to do is be a normal person. So if in her life being normal is to twirl around in her house and live her best living room residency, well then Britney, so be it. My only wish this year, Santa, can you hear me? Is that Britney is surrounded by good people and that she knows her worth and that she knows that we love her. So, yep, I think Britney can have a comeback. But does Britney want to come back? That's the question. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. Love you guys so much for watching. And thank you for this convo because I have no one to talk to about this in my real life. All right, see you guys in the next one.